Thank you. I wish you love too, Unity Band. Well, good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum, and welcome to you that are joining us online also. If you're with us for the first time, I hope you received your light bulb, eco-friendly LED, because truly you light up our world by sharing your light with us. So a little light in return there. Unity is a very strong prayer ministry, and we have a new way to support you in prayer. First of all, we have our regular prayer box over there. Our prayer team takes your name and prays with you for the next 30 days and then forwards it to Silent Unity for 30 days. And we just have started a new prayer station over there, Healing Light Prayer. And there's lots of ways to pray over there. There is a fountain where you can take a black stone. If there's something you need to release in your life, you can put it into the water to symbolically release it. There are candles over there that if you want to set an intention or hold somebody in prayer, you can light one of the candles over there. They are electric, so you just flip the switch on the bottom. And there's another prayer box there that you can write out a prayer request and stick it in the wooden heart. So lots of ways to do some interactive prayer here. Also, a little business, quick show of hands. After the service today, we're showing the movie Coda, wonderful award-winning movie about a deaf family with a hearing child. And we're also serving pizza with it, but we have to order the pizza. So if you're planning on attending and want to have a couple slices of pizza, could you hold your hand so we can get a count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, about 13, 14. Yeah, thank you. Okay, and with that, what?
I call it an earring.
Oh, we have a lost earring.
Looks like a color crayon.
A coloring crayon? It's a dreidel. It's a dreidel. Okay. If you're missing your dreidel when Christmas comes or Hanukkah comes, you'll know where it is. Okay. And with that, let's affirm our mission together. We spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, each other, and all creation. And this comes out of our mission statement of seeing the world powerfully transformed through a growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And I think shared is so important because we know that there is one God but many paths. So we honor all those paths, whatever path we're on and wherever we are on those paths. Let us affirm together. The enlightenment of Buddha shines within us. The compassion of the Christ moves through us. The power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. Oh, and welcome my peer ministers here. Hi, how are you? The Washingtons are here. We haven't seen them since before COVID, so how exciting to have you join us all the way from California and Unity of Chatsworth. We are going to bring our consciousness together now by singing Our Thoughts, Our Prayers.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
I breathe into that. Each week we pray for our neighbors around the world, even as we pray for Unity Spiritual Center, and I'm just really getting that the state of our world is about we keep trying to find the right relationships with each other and with the world. So I thought today our prayer would be a song, because the only way that we really bring world peace, we talked about this in the prayer class yesterday, is as we become peaceful. You know, what we want to see in the world, we need to create within ourselves first. So this is a song some of you may know. If not, you'll catch on very soon. It's called I Love Myself.
I love myself the the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am.
So now we take that love out to somebody else.
And I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are.
Let's take it out to the whole world.
I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can plainly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So till the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, and I'll help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am.
Amen. Would solve everything, wouldn't it? Okay, the first one, the hard ones to get over about loving ourselves just as we are, even though we want to grow. Okay, so a little time to get to know each other at the table. Since it is summer and there's certain activities you do during the summer, I thought maybe you could share at the table what is the correct way to toast marshmallows. And know that every way is right, but you might share how you do it.
Oh man, you just gotta get them. You gotta be careful. Take your time.
Are you one that likes it charred and on fire?
No.
You like it softly
Oh yeah, it's
turning
gonna be like
brown.
golden brown and messy.
Then
I've
it
got a friend whose teenage son will burn them to a crisp, scrape them off the fork or whatever.
she scrapes the crunchy part off?
Yeah. So how do you like them?
Well, depending on my mood. Every now and then I want the crunchy part with a char on it and have that. But if I have the patience to just slowly toast it, but you gotta watch, because otherwise it just drops off the stick right into the fire, right when it's perfect.
Yeah,
You're just about to
that's
take
such
it
a very
off.
good thing, you know?
There is an art, the art of marshmallow toasting.
Yeah, exactly the way you want them. So we have a fork that 2 tines are close
Oh.
together, and you can put them on sideways, and those tend not to.
Oh, yeah, okay, you have a backup. You have a backup.
Should we
Okay, yeah, let's come back together.
Okay.
Okay.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Come on and stand up.
We
Come together.
We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste and bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love.
Oops. Phew. Good morning, I'm Kathy Assiff, your platform assistant for today. Unity's daily word is wonder. Inspired by the book of Acts, they were filled with wonder and amazement at what had happened to him. We feel inspired watching a young child discovering new things, eyes wide with awe and wonder. Even the smallest experiences, feeling the tickle of a butterfly on your skin, or blowing the seeds of a dandelion, are marvel and joy. We think of this when disappointing life experiences chip away at our sense of awe and appreciation. Today we let go of disillusionment and open our hearts and eyes to once again live in wonder. As we view life anew, we renew our belief in the goodness of life of all people. We open ourselves to the unexpected treasures happening all around us each day. Wonder is a precious gift, one we use to appreciate the marvels unfolding before us. Let us affirm together, I view life through eyes of wonder. This month we focused on our core value of prayer and its power. Prayer is the perfect tool to use to renew ourselves. The activity of prayer is something that can be done by anyone at any time in any place to bring us into alignment with love, peace, and harmony. Beyond our individual prayer work, we also celebrate the magnifying power that emerges when we join together in prayer. Day by day, prayer is our spiritual practice to enhance our spiritual growth. Let us affirm together, we acknowledge, celebrate, and practice the transforming power of prayer. So now it's my great pleasure to welcome Matt Bliton to share his special brand of music with us.
Thank you. It is wonderful to be here and see you. And you've grown since the last time I came. And it's also wonderful to play with these guys. I used to work right not far from here, but I did something that I'd been waiting to do, which is retire. And it gives me more time to watch celebrities do imitations of other celebrities on TV. And also do more reading. I read something this morning. It says, our efforts in life are, first of all, to discover how far we are from our highest possibilities. And I said, oh, that's a jump. My more humble and realistic goal is to try to be aware of what I'm thinking and feeling and worrying about, and at least improve the quality of my worrying somewhat. This song is about trying to open that door when I find out that the door of my awareness is closed. But first I have to realize that the door is closed, and then there's the effort of opening it. It also works as a love song to my wife, so it's... Trying to open up my door to you, don't know how it closed again. Oh yes, I mean it this time too. Yes, there is a way. Standing by the scary door, feeling alone again, hoping that I'm leaning to a new morning. Morning light is seeping through windows of a darkened room. Nighttime is convincing too, it leaves no place to hide. Light changes the scenery, shadows retreat again. The darkest night is followed by a new morning. Pink-bellied clouds stacked in the east, like cows waiting by the gate. The color will be gone soon when the real sun comes out. Can I fly right over my thoughts, moving through pastel clouds, leave the heavy world below in a new morning? Closes his eyes to make everything disappear. My mind watches reruns, inside and alone. Standing by the scary door, I pull my hat down low, take the first step into a new morning. Trying to open up my door to you, don't know how it closed again. Oh yes, I mean it this time too. Yes, there is a way. Standing by the scary door, feeling alone again, hoping that I'm leaning to a new morning. Hoping that I'm leaning to a new morning.
Matt, you're trying to tell me that when I keep bumping my head on the wall, it's actually a door? Okay. Well, we've been, this summer we're doing a series on the elements, because I really believe that though we love our books and we go out and buy books, Spirit is speaking to us all the time in the very world in which we live. We just oftentimes, I should say, don't slow down enough to listen. Get quiet enough to just hear the messages that are all around us. No matter what is on our mind or our heart, the world is talking to us. So we started out with Earth, which is really that symbolic of that universal, visible means of support. I mean, it's supporting us right now. It doesn't ask anything else. And wherever we are truly is holy ground. We're especially holy now. I don't know if you noticed when you came in today, our angel wings have been completed. Our artist CJ and Deshawn finished up the wings, and So if you want to prove to somebody it's holy ground, you get somebody to take your picture in front of the wings, and they'll know. I mean, angels have to stand on holy ground, right? And then we talked about air, which is like a universal symbol of the invisible source of all things, of our life. It's like the breath of God in which we live and move and have our being. It's kind of proof of the unseen. We made bubbles that week so we could see the unseen, if you will. And last week we talked about water. Had a wonderful day of water all the way from Dave Meter out at the pond to Peter, yes. Shampoo in the morning and salt, and water just has all these different characteristics, but it certainly reminds us about being in the flow. It cleans things. I mean, water is just this wonderful cleansing thing. When the rain comes down, it cleans the air with all the fire particulates in it, and it also causes turmoil. It wipes things out. Vermont got whooshed away with some floods up there, so it's an amazing element. It's always changing to kind of get our attention to whatever the needs are. And today we're going to talk about the fourth one, which is fire, which is the universal transformative action. This is the big guns when you bring in the fire. It purifies and it transforms, and it's also a wonderful symbol of the Trinity. So, if you also think about it, our body reflects the exact same things. The water is like our blood flowing through us. Air is our breath. Earth is our body, that tangible thing. And fire is our spirit, that unseen thing, that energy that keeps us going, that creates that warmth within our heart. So, as we've done with each of the elements, I'd like to have a few laughs about the elements, because fire can be kind of scary. So, I searched online for something to light a fire. You know what the message I got? No matches found. Okay. What do you call a woman who takes her credit card statement and immediately burns it? Burn a debt. Okay. What did the fire say was his New Year's resolution? This year I'm going to do new Fahrenheits. Okay. And one last real groaner. What do you call a jacket that goes up in flames? A blazer. Ah! Okay. Jokes you can share with any age group. Fire, we hear about fire right in the beginning of the Bible. And not just in the Bible, fire is an element that's talked about in all faith traditions. We know that it's important. There's something mystical about fire. And so if you remember, you got Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. They got everything. They goofed up. They did the thing they were not supposed to do. They got kicked out. And God sends these cherubims to stand in front of the doors, the gateway to the Garden of Eden, with this cherubim with flaming swords. This artwork is always very frightening. So I was looking at cherubim. I think of cherubims, those cute little chubby things that are on cards. Cherubims actually go back. The concept is part animal, part human. Quite frightening. It's in Hebrew, the word actually means growth, or it means legions. You know, those great powers, the legions come in. Metaphysically, those cherubims represent protection and sacred life. So we have this, metaphysically, with the story of the Garden of Eden, we have this place where all of our needs are met. And it's guarded by this transformative power. And we think we're kept out. All we need to do to get back in is, to the allness, is transform from our attachment to all those things that are keeping us from moving forward in there. And the sword of fire, fire is often referred to as like the word of God, the word of spirit. So that fire is just for us getting the spirit within us to be able to hear those divine ideas, to be able to hear that guidance, to move forward so that we can have and live the life that we desire to live. And I thought about fire and the transformative quality. I mean, we have had the experience personally here. If I go back to that picture from almost 4 years ago now, the fire at our church on Home Street, and this is what fire does. It transforms. Right? I will take you even deeper in this. This was our sanctuary. And this transformed. When you put them together and see, I mean, we have, as a community, we have been through a transformation that's just incredible. Thank you, fire. Thank you, fire. I mean, it's just, whoa, take your breath away. Talk about miracles. The Revealing Word is a wonderful little book. If you've never picked one up, I think there's a couple in the library. It's some things that Charles Fillmore wrote that are not in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary that talks about concepts. And when he talks about fire, he talks about it, the qualities, as I mentioned before. It's cleansing, it's purifying, transformative. And he says fire in the material world, we know what it is. But metaphysically, it's a symbol of the fire of spirit for us. That thing, that zeal, that zest for life, those goals, those impetus that moves us forward. It's an action element, if you will. It's really the spiritual energy of the entire universe. You know, we have our sun, which is ball of fire, the stars, balls of fire. We see this energy throughout everything. And fire is really interesting because it consumes what they call the dross. Dross is anything that's rubbish, that's worthless. When we talk about this metaphysically, that fire is that cleansing thing that lets us go. And when I think back about why did Home Street burn, and it's not necessarily why, but one of the advantages, we kept all these things so we didn't know what we would need in our next step. And Spirit said, you don't need any of it. I'm going to take it all away and just see what you get. You know, it was a good plan, you know, ultimately. And metaphysically, when we're caught with that spirit of fire, when the error thinking, when that attachment is gone, the burning stops. The destruction stops. All that you're left is what is good, what is eternal. So you can think of fire as God in action, this consciousness of truth working within our mind. It's a real impetus. Okay, so we're going to go on from here. In the Old Testament, there's all these stories about fire, and they're very interesting. I just want to share a couple of them with you this morning. One is Sodom and Gomorrah. Even if you're not a Bible reader, you might have heard the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, this very evil town that was so bad, God needed to destroy it. And Abraham bargained with him and said, how about if I find 40 good people? Okay. And then couldn't find 40. How about 35? Well, maybe 30. How about 25? Okay, for 25 I won't destroy it. And anyway, finally the town, Sodom and Gomorrah, metaphysically, the word Sodom means secrets and tyranny. The word Gomorrah is oppression. And so that town within, remember these are parts of us. Those things the secrets that we have that control us, addictions that we have that maybe we haven't acknowledged, and the other is oppression, wherever we feel we've lost our power. In order to move on, we need to allow those things to go. So in the story, the city is burned. And then, of course, we know the story about Lot lived there. That was Abraham, which represents faith, his nephew. And his wife turns back and turns to salt. When we look back to the past and those things are releasing, when we look back, we get preserved in them. We want to let it go. Fire is that wonderful symbol of truly letting it go in such a way that's transformed into something that is benefit to us. And then there's, of course, the story of Moses, and fire shows up several times with Moses. Moses, as a baby, was drawn out of the water. That's what his name is from. And when he's out one day as a shepherd and he sees something happening up on the mountain, he goes up there and he sees this bush that is on fire, but the bush is not consumed. That is his experience of hearing God's voice, of finding out God's name, I am that I am. And then later on, as he's filled with that fire of spirit to free his people from bondage. Again, freeing from bondage, right? And he leads the people out, and his map, his GPS system, was a pillar of smoke by day and a pillar of fire by night, leading them from the bondage to the promised land. Again, fire helping make that transformation. And then there's a wonderful story about this prophet Elijah. And there's a lot of testing going on in the Old Testament, a lot of battles going on about who's going to win. So Elijah challenges the prophets of Baal. Baal is the golden calf that was worshipped by some sects. He says, we'll see whose God is stronger. And we're going to set up altars, and whoever God can light the altar, that will be the winner, if you will. So the Baal prophets get there, they build this huge pyre of wood and stuff, and they do their songs and their dancing and their prayers, and nothing happens. Meanwhile, Elijah has his pile of wood over here, and he builds a trench around it. Then he tells people to come and throw water on it. And he does this 3 times, soaks the wood in water, and does his prayer, and the fire comes down and lights it. So he wins. So if you see in the New Testament, we talk about fire, it says transformation. It's the growth of our faith. Old Testament is a very early inkling of faith in something greater than us. And so you see these tests and trials, always wanting proof, always asking. And don't, faith growth is not linear. We often go back to Old Testament thinking that we want proof for our faith. We need something more solid. We need a roadmap. We need some surety, if you will. We have those moments of doubt. So this is like that Old Testament thinking. But again, the fire, the transformation that's happening once we step out in the idea of having faith in something greater than us. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, in his book, Keep a True Lent, and if you think about it, Lent is really a fire period. It's a time to let go of those things, those tyrannies and oppressions that aren't blessing your life, that you want to get rid of. And he said, while the light of intuition, the flame of fire, burns in our hearts, there's no loss of substance. This is like the burning bush. The bush is not consumed. It's just the fire, the spirit. And he says, in thinking, there's a vibratory process that uses up nerve tissue. But in the wisdom that comes from the heart, this bush or tissue is not consumed. And I think, I really thought about this quote from Charles, and it's true. When I work a lot with my mind, I get tired. Anybody else get tired? Yeah. I was working on numbers the other day, and boy, numbers can just, nap time, right? But when we're doing something that's with that passion from our heart, we can go for days. There's just no stopping us. We're on fire. You don't know how hard I tried to figure out how to find a skirt that turned on fire when I danced like the Hunger Games. Would have been great. Would have been great for today. Yeah. Yeah, as close as I could get. It's safe too. Much safer. And as I said, the idea of fire as a spiritual symbol of having messages for us is in all faiths. And in Islam is this book, Secrets of Divine Love, and it talks about a mystic who sees a young boy who's got a candle, and he goes, perfect teaching moment. So he says to the boy, where did that flame come from in your candle? And the boy, can you imagine if he asked you where did the flame come from? Would you have an answer? Yeah, I wouldn't have an answer, yeah. But the boy all of a sudden had an idea. And he went, blew it out. And he said to the mystic, where'd the flame go? And the mystic, wow, here's the lesson. That it went from wherever it came from and where it all will return eventually. Just like life. What a powerful message just from a candle and blowing it out. So if you see fire as God in action, this movement, this power, it's so different from the other elements. But fire, unlike earth, can't be held. You can't hold fire in your hands. Fire, unlike air, is visible. We see the fire even though we can't hold it. And then like water, it transforms. Water cleans. Fire transforms. But like water, it expands and contracts. Now, water only expands and contracts a bit. Fire can expand massively, however big as it needs to be. And when its work is done, it contracts. It's just this amazing, changeable element, if you will. And fire is the result of right action. The fire triangle, these three things need to come together in the right proportions for it to take effect. And we talk about the trinity of spirit, of mind, idea, expression, and they too need to come together in harmony and in balance in order for things to come into manifestation, to take effect. And I love that of all the elements, fire is the one that generates something new. Fire generates light. And that's really that symbol that we always use for spiritual awakening, seeing the light, being able to see things more clearly. So then we get to the New Testament with fire, and it goes from the trial and the proof to baptism with water, moving to cleansing with fire. John the Baptist says, I baptize you with water, but somebody will come after me that will cleanse you with fire, meaning the inspiration, not that you need to be literally on fire, the inspiration of being fired up about God, about spirit, about life. And then in Luke, Jesus says, it's one of those kind of verses you kind of read through away because it doesn't quite grab you, but he says, I came to cast fire on the earth and wish that it were already kindled. It often says wood, but his meaning is wood that it would already be kindled. You're kind of wishing it was already a fire. And then in the Gospel of Thomas, which is my favorite gospel because it was forbidden. They threw it out. And it's a beautiful gospel because it's just the teachings. It's just sayings. It doesn't have the stories built around it. So you get to hear the message in possibly a purer state. In the Gospel of Thomas, it says that Jesus said, whoever is near me is near the fire, and whoever is far from me is far from the Father's domain. This is a term that's used in that translation, meaning the universe, all that is. He says, I have cast fire upon the world, and look, I'm guarding it until it blazes. That power of fire is within each of us, and it can't be put out. We can ignore it. It may stay small within us, but it's always ready. It's that ember that's always ready to burst into flame, to carry us forward, to do our purpose, whatever it is that is ours to do. So the metaphysics of fire, it's kind of a paradox that sometimes it seems to be helpful and sometimes it seems to be destructive. But fire consumes anything unlike itself, purifies it, and then creates something new. It's this total transformation process. And we know from physics that matter can't be created or destroyed, it can only change form. That's what fire shows us. Fire shows us that this ability to be able to transform. It's not like, Halloween we dress up and take on a different persona, but we're still the same underneath. Fire is that transformative quality where we actually change deep in our hearts, where we change in our way of being, we change in our way of thinking, we change perhaps even our way of loving. Fire consumes only when it meets anything unlike itself. Fire can't consume fire. So if you're passionate about something, you got this great idea, and somebody else is passionate about this great idea, you're not going to consume each other. It builds together. Right? So that's especially why we think so much of fire. They show the pictures of Jesus with the little heart with the flame, because it's that spirit from within that's only going to grow, that's only going to support. So thinking about God in action with fire, in tongues of fire, speaking in tongues, is what they talk about, being filled with spirit of what comes out of your mouth, if you will. Fire is in the whole, the holy. And Albert Schweitzer said, in everyone's life at some time, our inner fire goes out, and I would say appears to go out. It is then burst into flame by another encounter with another human being. And we should all be thankful for those people who rekindle our inner spirit. Isn't that true? Yeah. When we can't find the flame, somebody else is that breath and it goes. Terry Pratchett, are you familiar with him as an author? He wrote this series of books, kind of science fiction. He's known for the Discworld. And he said, build a man of fire and he'll be warm for a day. Set a man on fire and he'll be warm for a life. Wow. And I just have to share this other story from him because he was an atheist for a long time. And then he began to get Alzheimer's. And he did a lot of work with raising money for Alzheimer's over in England to do research, because so little research is being done on it. And during this time of transition, he became aware of things in a different way, as we sometimes do. When things are on fire, we look at things a whole lot differently. He said, I believe in the same God Einstein did. It is just possible that once you have gotten past all the gods that we have created with big beards and many human traits, just beyond all that, on the other side of physics, there just may be the ordered structure from which everything flows. What a beautiful, beautiful idea. So life purpose is really about having a fiery goal and seeking a goal within our own life that's worthy of setting us on fire. And whatever that goal is for each of us, it has some universal components. We all want an earth that's healthy. We all want a world that is at peace, right? We want hearts that are filled with love. No matter what we do, that's what we're looking for, that heart filled with love. We want our life to count. And we all want more of God, however we define that in our life, more of that which is greater than us. So, goals on fire. I have come to set the world on fire and stand guard till it blazes. That's our goal. With that, we're going to go into a time of meditation. And today, I'm going to invite you to light the candles on your table. There's matches there. If you need some more candles, I have some little ones here. So there's wooden matches on the table. You notice I didn't give you very big candles. And we're going to start singing this song, and while you're lighting your candles, and you can join in, or you can just listen to the melodious voice of Greg while you're setting the world on fire at your table.
Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Morning sun coming through in the trees, and the green leaves shimmer in the summer breeze. The songbirds singing to the honeybees, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. After the dazzle of day is done, the moon makes love to the setting sun. The stars come twinkling one by one, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God.
Let's take a deep breath and allow your eyes to be open today. And behold the candle in front of you. Let your eyes just feast on the sacred text that is speaking to you in this moment. What do you see? You see that trinity of colors? See the activity of the energy of spirit. Allow the flame to see into you. To be that which sets you on fire. So the gaze of that living, dancing flame, allow your eyes to gently close, taking that vision in with you. Taking a deep breath and asking that question that's on your heart. Perhaps it is your purpose. What is yours to do? What will set your heart on fire? And that still small voice of all that is begins its constant whisper, that whisper of love that fills your heart, inspiring you, the breath of God, to do those things that are yours to do. And where there is a lack of clarity, know that this flame will never go out. There are those around you that will breathe into it and increase the flame until you can see clearly how you are a part of a world that is healthy and at peace, living a life that is full and vibrant, exuding love in your wake. Let us just take a moment to be with this divine sacred text of fire in the silence. And we take a deep breath, and as we exhale, we allow it to blow the flame out, knowing that what has been lit within us cannot be extinguished, and knowing that wherever that flame came from, it goes back to only to come forward whenever we need it. And so it is. Amen.
Lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We sleep in dreams, both deep and bright, sailing through the velvet night, refreshing the soul to the Spirit's delight, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God.
Yeah, thank you. Whoop, there we go. Marianne Williamson, some of you may know her. She said, practice principle spirituals over and over again. First they awaken, then they inspire, and if we remain true to the principles, in time they transform. Well, so this week, ask yourself, if you were a flame, what dross in your life would you consume? What are you ready to transform in your life? And with that, I get to invite Matt up again, play one of my favorite songs. This will take us up another notch.
It is a great tune, Michael Beckwith and Ricky Byers. It is so wonderful to be here. And I think we played this with Lucille in the other place, I believe. I might be wrong. It's called I Release. There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what we have to say. I release, I let go, let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide, as I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit, as I'm only here for God. I release, I let go, let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, got to let it go, let it all go. This is what you have to say. I release, I let go, let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Woo! On fire, on fire. You know, Charles Fillmore, it's rumored that he was going to name Unity, before he was going to name it Unity, he thought he should name it Change. So we changed things a lot here. So we tried passing offering bags for the love offering, and that was a little confusing. So we're back to using the little altars on your table, little crystal jars. As you go through that, and what we are creating here, what we're wanting to create is the ultimate. We start with prayer, knowing that the sacred exchange, a circle of prosperity, is also a prayer time. So we're trying to create that prayerful involvement exchange with it. So with that, knowing that things are changing today, I'm going to turn it over to Kathy.
And thanks, Matt, for that wonderful, wonderful song. The circle of generosity is a sacred exchange of giving and receiving. We have each received blessings in many forms. We enter the circle today by sharing of our blessings. We know that the gift we give is not a debt we owe. It is a seed we sow from a consciousness of abundance. If you are donating by check or cash, place your gift in the crystal jar. If you are donating electronically or by other means, take a moment to place your hand over the jar or use one of the affirmation tokens in the bowl. As we prepare to consciously participate in sharing of our love and our treasure, let us bless our gifts together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. We'll continue our blessing by singing, I Am So Blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We are grateful for everyone's continued generosity of support of Unity through many channels, electronically, by mail, and in person. One of the ways we show that gratitude is by sharing of our gifts with others. For the third quarter of 2023, we are sharing a portion of our tithe with the Justice League of Greater Lansing for their work on faith-based reparations, and the JAX project, which helps care for pets when their owners are unable to because of illness. Let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts received on your table. Given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of Holy Spirit. And so it is. Amen. This month we have been highlighting Disability Pride Month in search for a deeper understanding of living with disabilities. The inclusion team is showing the movie Coda at noon along with a pizza lunch. The movie will be shown in the activity room off the sanctuary. The movie uses deaf actors to play the deaf characters who, along with a daughter, communicate using American Sign Language. This 2021 movie has won numerous awards, including Oscar nominations, and it is a movie that you will think about after the lights come back on. A pizza lunch is available for moviegoers. There's no charge for the movie, but we are asking for donations to cover the cost of pizza. This coming Friday, August 4th, the Lunch Bunch is meeting at the Bluegill Grill. This is a change in location. The social group is open to everyone. Please contact Nancy Clater or the church office if you plan to join so that we can reserve enough seats. But if you become free at the last minute, drop-ins are always welcome. For information on all events happening at Unity, check the Unity Pulse newspaper on the tables, the posters on the information rack, or our website, unitylansing.org. To close our service, please stand as you are able and join us in our peace circle around the room. We will sing the peace song followed by the prayer of protection.
I love seeing this get bigger and bigger.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.